Hello, hello. Hello, ladies and germs. Welcome back to another edition of How Did I Get Here? I love that show on Rick and Morty. Anyway, welcome back. And as you can see, there's been some progress on my game. I started working on more of the landscape. I learned about using splines and using the splines for the landscape deformation or deformation. I'm not really sure how to say that word, but I guess deformation is the right way to do it, but I say deformation. Anyway, so yeah, landscapes, splines, and roads and spline meshes. Oh my. So there's a few things I still have to work on. One is getting this camera speed slower. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit more manageable. So I kind of got this little spline mesh thing going where it repeats this street mesh continually. I still have to work on it. It kind of has this this pattern, this visible pattern, and it's too broken up where it's so obvious. And also I'm noticing now, like, for some reason maybe the pixels on the mesh might not be completely even. But like, let's go to landscape mode and we go into, we're gonna manage, right? Manage and then splines. There we go. So let's select this spline, all splines. Let's go to control points. There we go. Okay, so here's a control point right here. So let's move this one up. All right, so after you move it up, see there's a little disconnect, but let's make this like a nice little up the mountain type of spline setup. Let's get it up here, a little bump going up and down, and then I believe after you do that, we're gonna do select all segments and then deform landscapes to only selected, and let's see, bam, nice. I like that. Smooth. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so I'm learning how to make more of these modular style roads and landscapes, so that's pretty fun. I've been working a little bit more on lighting, so I kind of pretty much got my lighting the way I want for the most part, right? Inside the buildings, you can kind of see where you're going. I'm using multiple lights for this, all those lights, different angles and stuff. Again, not getting too focused on details. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I definitely want to figure out how to add control points where I want, or like, I don't know, I forgot what it was. Like, you click a control point and you control click. Oh yeah, look at that. You control click and it starts going in another direction. So that's pretty cool. Let's go back out, because what I really want to do is I want to add, can I add a control point? Let's see, if I click this and I click here. Now, can I move this control point? See, it splits. How do I branch off? See, that's doing some weird stuff. Like, there's this here, and I think there's probably another one here. Yeah, it's not what I want. Can I split it somehow? We select two. Let me research that for a second. Unreal Engine and spline point between 2 points. How to add spline between 2 other points in a spline? Right click on the spline segment between the 2 points and select add spline point here. Okay, add spline point here. So if I select this, where would add spline point here be? So let's see. Add. No. Oh, maybe here. Add component. No. Spline. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. Select the spline component in the viewport. Select the spline you want to modify. Locate the segment. Hover your mouse over the spline segment you want to add the new point. Add the point. Right click and choose add spline point here from the context menu. Alternatively, Alt left mouse button drag. Select an existing control point, then hold down the Alt key and drag the point to create a new spline segment. So let's try that out. So let's click this, left mouse. Click that, hold Alt and drag. Did that do that? Maybe. I don't know. Don't look right. Let's go back. Select the segment. So this, I can probably rotate this. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Don't want to do that. So I'm on the spline. See, this is the kind of things that don't make sense sometimes. I'm literally reading something here. It's got a video adding a point between existing points effectively switch the original segment 2. You can add multiple spline points in this way to create a more complex spline. The add spline point here option is only available when right clicking on a spline segment, not directly on a point. I think that's a segment. Select all segments. So wait, is this a segment? Yeah, that's a segment right there. Yeah, and right click ain't working. Okay, that's cool. You can kind of move those bars, but only back and forward. Okay. But I can't right click and add spline point. Nope. Don't want to do that. Let's go to splines. Use auto rotate control point. Auto rotate always forward. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to add landscape spline point between 2 points. Right clicking on the spline segment in the viewport, you can select the 2 spline points, duplicate them, then move the duplicates to the desired location, effectively insert in a point. That makes absolutely no sense. So select both? How? Okay. Select both. Duplicate them. And then move the duplicates to the side. How do I duplicate it? Oh, I guess that's how you can add a roundabout. That's pretty cool. Learned that. control points that has two segments attached. Do you want to join them? No. Let me see if I delete one. That's the opposite of what I want to do. Let's see, can I move this? Okay, I can move a spline point. So if I add one here and I put it, why can't I? Well, that might actually kind of work. And let's add one here. Oh, that's not bad. That kind of works. It's just not exactly what I was imagining. But it kind of works. Oh wait, let me turn off the oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. But I actually don't want it there. It's a little bit too... That is cool though, but not what I was imagining. I was imagining more like, let's say a truck kind of comes in, and then he's like, hey, got delivery. So he would kind of pull in here and back up to do a pickup. I think maybe this road might be a little too close. So let's move these spline points. Might need to be a little bit closer to the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain when she can. Alright, so let's get this more inset. Let's see from a top view, Captain. So if I delete this, I don't want to do that. But also, I don't like... Oh, that's right, I have to rotate. Okay, that's kind of cool. Still don't know how to add a point, because it's saying just right click when you got a segment clicked. But right click where? So I have the spline clicked. Is there the spline somewhere here? No? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't move my brushes. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. I can't right click on there. I guess you just can't do that. Hold on, I'm gonna pause for a second and I'll be right back. Alright, so I haven't been able to find much information related to that, but I did find some interesting information regarding changing specific meshes for control points. So for example, I can move this guy here and I could change this mesh. So for example, if I open up Blender, I could pretty much make a unique mesh for just that one spot, which is kind of cool, because this way I can get exactly what I want for that one area. Oh, well, I still have to let's see. Control point. Oh wait, the form right there, only selected. Wait, let me select all segments, and then deform landscape and splines, only selected. Yeah, okay. Alright, that's interesting. But yeah, I can change the individual mesh. Now I don't know what happened here, where it kind of looks a little funky with like these not really aimed right. Maybe I gotta rotate better. Let me see if I zero out here, and then I don't have to zero out there, but let's change some of those bars. Let's see what happens. So that's cool. Make it a little wider. All right, I'm digging that. Let's go. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know why that's happening. Oh, because these are short. But then I gotta rotate or shorten this. Maybe I'll just bring this guy in. Yeah, I like that. So now this is kind of not going even with the building. So let's bring this out. Let's bring this out. Let's move that a little forward. Let's rotate a little bit. Rotate a little bit. And let's bring this guy out. And this guy, let's bring it in, and then let's select all, and then deform selected. Okay, it's kind of cool. So what I can do is these guys, I can make it where they come into this like area here. So let's go into paint. All right, I think I'm getting the hang of it here. Let's paint this out like this. Let's give these guys some work area so they can drive their cars around. And I think back here there's gonna be like a parking lot. So I kind of have this sidewalk thing happening. Again, not really caring too much about perfection. I may make the sidewalk a little bit thicker. Again, still on the phases of white boxing and gray boxing. But let's take this for a test drive. Well, actually, let's go to sculpt mode. Let's smooth this out. That's cool. And again, the materials are just very basic materials. My focus is just getting the ideas down before I go and make things pretty. Like here, obviously, won't be parking lot, but I think like let's go to selection mode. I'm thinking this area here will be kind of like a parking lot area for the workers, because this is like a work area where they're making a cheese, and you got the office in the front here. So this area having parking near it, right by the office here. It's kind of cool. And then I'm thinking like, again, this area is shipping area, so it's gonna be like shipping related stuff, pallet jacks, containers, boxes and stuff, and these are gonna be like 18-wheelers being loaded up. You know, kind of getting creative. Here's gonna be sort of like a bridge kind of thing, where I'm probably gonna have another road that will branch off from here, right? And again, I still have to learn how to add control points, because I really would like to add a control point somewhere here. Hey, what happened? Yeah, I don't know. So let's go to landscape, manage splines, select this. Yeah, for some reason right clicking ain't doing anything. I'm right clicking with control, I'm right clicking with shift, I'm right clicking alone. Oh wait, did I just do it? So I had it selected and I left and control clicked right in the middle. Let's see. Oh, sweet. Okay, I like that. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're cooking with fire. Let's try that again. Let's click this, control click the middle. Unstoppable. All right. Yeah, I like that. Give it a little like 80s, you know, winding road effect on the mountainside. Let's get this road a little higher. Give some ups and downs. So what I'm thinking of, this first island is going to be the first play test area, just to get an idea for just how the game is going to function as a whole. You know, oh wait, I don't know why that happened. Let's get rid of that. To get the feeling of what I want the game to be like, and then little by little, like obviously I can go to and start adding, you know, landscape to it. But right now I'm not gonna worry about adding more. So let's take the game for a test run, what shall we? So let's go to selection. Let's go here and let's hit play. So if you've been following, you've probably been watching the progress on this game, and more importantly Kiara. So in Unreal I started animating, adding the animation blueprint and getting things moving left and right. I kind of got the weight painting looking good. So all the stuff, like, it's really learning while building for me. And again, this is gonna be definitely a work in progress for a long time coming. But I'm liking it, I'm feeling it, and I have some ideas for the gameplay, in terms of like how I want it to function. So I definitely want it to have that sort of MMO feel, but I don't want it to have like tons of people. The main thing is going to be sort of like a lobby, right? I think I've said this before. Like you can kind of like tell your friends the room name, you guys meet up. At first, I'm not going to be doing any kind of expensive like buying server space and paying like Amazon web server and all that stuff. So it's going to be functioning sort of like a peer-to-peer thing, which isn't the best for MMO games because of the higher likelihood that, you know, people figure out how to hack the game. They can start, you know, messing with stuff. But like I said, I'm designing this to be more friendly, where only people really joining your game are going to be people that you send the link to. And if you do any kind of public things, again, you're just taking that risk. And depending on, you know, if it starts to become something, I might look into purchasing, you know, online web server stuff and taking it more seriously. But this is mainly just my hobby, just passing some time. When I get the itch to, you know, learn something, I get an Unreal, maybe watch a tutorial too, or try to figure out on my own. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm digging the lighting. The lighting looks cool. I like this sort of like midday, pre-sunset time. Feels energized. There's a lot I still need to work on, right? Like what happens when you're on like angles like that. I recently programmed in falling when you jump. Boom, that looks good. So things that are on my priority list right now is working on like health meters, and working on fall damage, and working on like item pickup. You know, and then obviously after that, adding like an animation if you're falling from too high, maybe slow the character down, stuff like that, little tweaks here and there. But I'm taking it very slow. I'm trying not to commit too directly to final things, as obviously I'm learning and I have to adapt to the new things I'm learning. Like, why is there a door here if there's an opening? I think I was supposed to put a wall there and forgot. But it's kind of cool. I definitely want to have melee attack, like swinging stuff. You know, pick up a branch, swing a branch, an axe, a sword, I don't know, a stool. Anything that can be used in a bat style, right? Swinging at somebody. you know, maybe like, I don't know, an anvil in the end of a freaking pipe. Stuff like that. A big rock sledgehammer. Just whatever funny things I can come up with. But it's been a lot of work in figuring out small little details, right? Like I had a lot of problems with the textures showing right, and having ray tracing respond the way I wanted it to. But I guess that's just Unreal and programming. And I'm going to stick to staying in Unreal 5.5 and getting as good as I can with that. And then continuing on. So I'm going to try to do a weekly update so I don't fall too far behind. One, on actually dedicating some time to programming this. And two, to not lose motivation myself. You know, like you can easily go a month and be like, oh man, I didn't even touch this thing. Like, what happened? But again, thanks for watching and have a great day.